Artificial intelligence. It's quite the controversial topic. We have people like the late and great Stephen Hawking saying that it'll spell an end to the human race. And then we have people like the Dank Lord himself, Elon Musk, saying that it doesn't have to be inherently evil for it to destroy us all. Now, is AI really that bad? Well, that's what drew me to investigate it. Today, you and I, we're gonna build a facial recognition model. And we're gonna take those faces, put them in a database, save them, and keep them forever and ever and ever.
Let's get started. We first need to take a quick detour to Micro Center because they sent me an email offer for a free portable charger, and I'm a cheap f***. They'll also have the hardware we'll need to build a small portable video feed, so I surprisingly parked successfully, and I picked up a Pi Zero W with no headers, a Pi V2 camera, a convenient little case for both, and my free portable charger. I'd also like to quickly point out that I did 3D print a Pi Zero V2 camera case in preparation, but I ended up buying the official case instead. They got me. Onto the building process. While you watch me struggle to put the Pi Zero and V2 camera together, I'll touch on setting up the software side of things. And a quick disclaimer before starting. If you're not into the software side of things, you might want to skip this. First, I flashed a 32-bit version of Raspbian OS Lite. I then jumped over to the boot folder on the SD card and set up two files. The first is an empty text file named SSH. This will configure the Pi on boot to allow SSH. The second is called wpa_supplicant.com, and this will configure the Pi Zero to connect to my Wi-Fi on boot. Then I downloaded Putty, which is a free program that'll allow me to SSH into the Raspberry Pi Zero. I lastly downloaded Pi Camera, a module needed to set up web streaming, which is how we'll be able to use our face recognition video stream portably. They have an advanced script for it on their webpage, which I'll link in the description below. I'll also quickly note that I set up a static IP address for my Pi Zero as well. Oh, I almost forgot. The finishing touches. Velcro. Gonna slap this bad boy on.
Earlier, I said we'd be building a face recognition model, taking faces from that environment and storing those into a database. And we're still doing that, that's gonna happen. But we're not per se going to build our own face recognition model from the ground up. I have a good friend named Adam, and we're gonna be using Adam's module to do that. I would build one myself, but it would take a very, 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 very long time and just knowledge that I currently don't possess. But we are still gonna be building the code ourselves, and we're gonna do that right now.
Well, I actually already created the code. I wasn't looking to torture anyone today, and putting together these 87 lines of hellfire, well, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. So I'll quickly scroll through it. Feel free to copy and use it at your own discretion. I'll just quickly point out I imported another custom module that allowed me to run a separate thread for the camera feed. That'll in theory increase the overall performance of the camera feed and responsiveness of the main program. I'll put that custom module's GitHub in the description below. Anyway, all in all, I set up the code so it'll capture the footage from the web server feed, that's from the V2 camera. It'll then run the facial recognition code, and anytime a person passes by, it'll cross-reference the face to the user-created database. If there's a match, the program will display the name of the person in the feed. If there's no match, the program will take a picture of the face in question and assign a numeric number to that face that can later be modified in the user's database. Alright, I think I've blabbered enough. Let's check it out in action.
So my initial thoughts after the fact. Well, first, I'd like to point out that I'm a 24-year-old kid with almost no knowledge about artificial intelligence at all, and I did very little research. It only took me like 3 weeks. And I know it's like, oh, well, 3 weeks. It's like, no, I have a full-time job, so I juggle that, and I do a little bit of research when I get off. And eventually, like, I got to the point where I was able to kind of understand how neural networks work, and I was able to kind of put together this code. Now, think about a multi-billion-dollar company that hires professionals, and what kind of system they have set up. So, yeah. And by all means, I don't think that artificial intelligence is a bad thing. It has inherent good, and I feel like it can benefit society in a monumental way. But it has a lot of inherent evil that comes along with it. It really depends on who's controlling it. Will we have control over it? Is it meant to supersede us? I mean, humans, we naturally have children. And we want them to be bigger, faster, stronger, more intelligent. We want them to lead better lives than what we've led. Is that the same with artificial intelligence? Is this just natural evolution? Is this our destiny? Now these are the hard questions. And questions for another day. Stay curious and stay golden. Thanks for watching.